Oh, because guess what? Everybody's moving to Florida. So, I mean, this might not be politically correct. But you could say there used to be 10,000 storage units in New York, but now there's only like 5. So in Florida, there used to be like 10,000 storage units. Now there's 5 million storage. Look at that couple over there. Should be longer than the walk. We're not. Let's both pull at the same time. See, that's the problem with storage units. What if you had something you really wanted tonight, like a bed, and you couldn't get to it because you lost your key, and your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or you could have a really old relative. I mean, they need to be in the bed tonight. I can hear them complaining now. I moved down here with you to Florida, and look what you do. You get me down here, and there's no bed to lay in. All right. This is frustrating. When vacating clean unit and remove lock. Clean the unit? I wonder if some weights fell against there. All right, we'll have to stop until we get a locksmith or something to come. It's depressing. Oh, Aunt Bertha's going to be really mad tonight when we don't have a bed for her to lay in. I told you I didn't want to move. I can hear her now. Aunt Bertha, we need your Social Security to live on, please, if you don't mind. Oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. We like having you live with us, Aunt Bertha, but we'll get you an air mattress. How about that? We'll go to Dollar General or Family Dollar, get one of those air mattresses that people swim on in the swimming pool. And you can sleep on that tonight. We just don't want you to eat as much pizza as you normally do, okay, Aunt Bertha, please? Sometimes to keep people's privacy, they blur, in the video, they blur out this number right there. To the American Indian, I can feel for them. They didn't have a place to go when it was super hot. Maybe they went swimming in some cold springs. But now when it's cold, they have to have like buffalo hides and all that things to wrap up in. But nowadays, we just go to the convenience store, get an icy, cold drink, and cool down. Some people like large size. In this storage unit was a fermentator. Now, fermentators when you're making beer. It's not the same as a kegerator. The kegerator, the beer's already made, and it's in the kegerator is for a keg. This is a fermentator. There's no beer. Oh. What's the beer? What's it from? There's not a lot of soundproofing in here. Well, I mean, if you're screaming and hollering, nobody outside would hear you. It's sure heavy inside of here with all these echoes, that's for sure. Right, you're going to cut it off. Well, it's 97 degrees outside, but because of the humidity, it feels like 104 or 105. Of course, if you just stand there in the middle of the sun on top of black asphalt, it might feel like 120. Anyway, here we are. A lot of people don't like snow and ice, so they move to Florida, Texas, Georgia, Colorado, wherever there's other southern places, and then they have to deal with the heat. But they're not dealing with snow. Some people have a swimming pool they can get. Let's sit here and bake for a few minutes. People have too much stuff. The American Indians didn't have storage units. What would they store? Buffalo dung? You know what the dung is. It's that word that starts with S and H and ends with INT. That's buffalo dung. But because this is a family-oriented show, we were not going to say that word. Anyway, you can burn it though. They may have stored it in their little carry-on bags. I don't mean on an airplane, but they had a bag that there were 2 poles with some hide made out of deer skin or buffalo skin, and they could drag those behind a horse, and those were their carry-on bags. So you know what, speaking of flying and people carry-on bags, when the airline tells you there's no more room in the overhead bins, you're in your waiting area out there eating your stupid pizza and snacks and looking at your phone and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all that crap, and the person comes on and says we have no more room in the carry-on bin area overhead. You can check your baggage and it will be unloaded at the spot that you're supposed to get it unloaded at. So the idiots that's not paying attention decide to get on and they tell you there's no more room. Well, then they start having a conniption fit because they weren't listening. Like when you were a little kid and somebody told you something, you weren't listening. Or your teacher in school and you weren't listening. You're supposed to listen. So these people that get in these arguments and start slamming around on the airplane and getting in fights and hitting people and cussing, and they have to get the security to come take them off the plane, and then they want to sue the airlines and they're just mad. There's no more room in the overhead compartment. Give me a break. So anyway, back to the Indians. They had carry-on bags on the back there. And they were pulling with their horses or whatever. Now, I just thought of something funny. You know, that they didn't have strollers for their babies, which they called a papoose, by the way, if you want to look that up, papoose. Well, when the baby got big enough to walk, I wonder, I just thought of an idea they could have used. They could have kept that papoose, the carrying thing, and used that as a carry-on bag. They could have put buffalo dung in the back of that thing and carried it wherever they went. Now they could have had a fire out of buffalo dung. And the papoose thing, it probably had baby dung in there in the dad, so it probably stunk anyway. Because the baby used to poop, crap, whatever y'all call that, the proper term, defecate, or had a number 2 or bowel movement or whatever you want to use. So that papoose carry-on bag had some smell to it, I would imagine. So it wouldn't matter. So just go ahead and use it for buffalo dung. Dang, man, if I'd have lived back then, I could have told them about that. Goodness gracious. Anyway. Alright, it says it's 99 and it probably feels hotter than that because of the humidity. So, back to the storage unit. American Indians didn't have storage units. I know Neanderthal man didn't have them. I mean, I don't know. You can go back to other cultures. You go to Africa, Spain, Italy, France, Portugal, India, Finland, Norwegian. Ah, somebody just taught me something. You all aren't gonna like this a bit. Everybody brags about how beautiful a Swedish woman or a Finnish woman or whatever, the skinny, how beautiful they are. Well, guess what? You know there were Vikings. And you know the Vikings came and did, you know what? They came over there, they came over there to Europe and pilfered and pillaged and did things unspeakables. And guess what they did? They took the beautiful Irish women and the beautiful Scottish women, and they took them back home. So why do you connect the dots, please? Why do you think the Finnish, Norwegian, and Danish women are so beautiful? Because they took the pick of the, I won't say pick of the crop. That's not a feminist way of talking about it, but they took the prettiest and probably the healthiest girls with the, they didn't eat braces, they had the best teeth, and they took them back and said, do you want to get married? And of course the girl had to say yes, because she was already over there and there was no way back. So yeah, she got married. They had these beautiful daughters, and they kept having beautiful daughters. Those daughters grew up and got married and had some more beautiful daughters. So all the Finnish, Swedish, and Danish women are gorgeous. But they didn't get all the beautiful women out of Ireland and Scotland. And so therefore, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe they hid, or they might have, I don't know if they had fake mustaches and beards back then, but if I was one of those women, and I knew those Viking men were going to steal me and take me back over there, and I didn't want to go, I'd cut some of them up. I'd get a fake beard. I'd get some hair and make me a fake beard and a mustache, and I'll probably end it right there because I'm going to get unpolitically correct. So that's the stop right there. All right, tell me. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for next week's video, which I hope will be as enjoyable as this week's video. Thank you, and goodbye. Thank you for watching this video. Click up here to subscribe. Click down here to see the next video. I found a shed, and I don't know how to deal with it. I'm thinking I'll get that's a nice book. I'm thinking, dang, that's a nice book. I'm thinking I'll get the loppers. I'm afraid to pull it out of there. What do you think?